working on a file right now, which reminds me that getting a mortgage pre-approval out to you is sometimes a super quick thing, and sometimes it takes a little extra time. You're not going to know, and I'm not going to know until I open the file how much time it's going to take. But here are a couple of things that make it easier and a few things that make it a little bit harder so that you know. One, if a person works at a salary position, this is the easiest for us to verify and also pop in the file, and we are very sure very quickly whether it's going to work or not and what the allowance is going to be. The second possibility is that we have somebody who works full-time but by hours, by hourly wage, and that can be just fine as long as it's guaranteed full-time hours and they consistently work full-time hours. That is the second easiest. The third becomes a little bit more dicey. If they make hourly income, but they work sometimes part-time, sometimes full-time, sometimes it's 30 hours, sometimes 35, that becomes a little more dicey. Then I need to start looking at a 2-year history, so I may need more information before I can qualify them because I need to know what they made the last 2 years on average. And if they haven't been working that job for 2 years, then we don't have an average and we don't have enough track record yet unless they've been in that field for a long period of time, in which case then it might be just fine. Now, the most challenging is the self-employed individual, and the reason is because your income changes and you write off expenses. So if you've already spent part of your income on those expenses, it can't be counted as income anymore. In addition to that, a business needs to be in business for at least 2 years. So if you've changed the business or changed the name of the business, that can be problematic. If you had a huge dip from one year to the next, so let's say in 2023, you made $100,000 and then in 2024, you made 40, that is more than 20% dip, then that becomes problematic and then you don't qualify for a loan. And so when I'm doing a self-employed individual, I then have to get tax returns for both years so that I can take the average and make sure that everything looks right. The thing that I ran into this week is unusual situations, which according to my title friends, there's been a kind of a rash of, where we had a husband and wife, and the husband's credit was not good, so we couldn't keep the husband on the loan. So then the wife didn't make anything. We started to look for co-borrowers. We added her mom, we added her stepdad. Then later the next day, we added her grandpa. And by the time we had 4 people on that loan, we were still $100,000 shy of where they really wanted to be pre-approved. Each person brings in their own combination of debt and income, and it keeps changing the face of the situation. So it can take, in that instance, it took about a day and a half for me to get a pre-approval out. And in that instance, it still wasn't really enough for what they wanted. So just so you know what goes into the pre-approval process and what makes it really quick and what makes it not so quick. And if you do have any questions, please give me a call and I'm happy to help.